All right, looks like we are live. Episode
All right.
8.
Episode number 8.
Episode number 8.
All right. Thanks very much, everyone, for tuning in. This is Put a Stamp on It podcast with me, Jose Arellano,
Gary Frosto.
in the house. All right, folks. Well, we'll get straight to it. It's been, hopefully everyone's liking the content. Everything's going good. So, since last episode, how's your week been?
Well, before we move to that, again, thanks everybody for watching. Make sure you follow us at Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Put a Stamp on It podcast. We appreciate the like, the shares. Spotify, you can find us under Put a Stamp podcast. Same thing for iTunes. It's fairly easy to subscribe to. Any feedback, content that you can give, what you think we should maybe improve on, or even things that you suggest that we should talk about.
Yeah, constructive criticism never hurt anybody, right?
We definitely would appreciate that 100%. So, how was my week? Well, it was fairly good. I mean, work was generally consistent, good. Went back to my original coach, which was kind of cool for Mike Ferry. Switched me back over to my original coach. I kind of was thinking about possibly taking a break for a little bit, so I'm still kind of in the middle of that. John Wick 3.
Oh man!
What am I forgetting here? Friday was a John Wick event.
Actually, pretty good.
So, funny thing is, I always have to lead into this. You never see how many men don't go to work until you go to the movies midday, and all the homies are hanging out watching a movie. So were we. But
so to set it up, we had all been. We saw John Wick, and we're all a fan of it. So we kind of got caught up with work, and I'm like, hey, why don't we have like a movie midday and all the people hang out? So we all bought the tickets, went hang out, and gotta say, dude, I want to take jiu-jitsu classes and gun classes stat. It's very, very good, man. If you haven't seen it, John Wick 3 is out on theaters right now. It's fantastic.
You got to watch 1. You got to watch 2. You got to go to 3. I saw a couple reviews from people on Facebook, that were kind of let down a little bit by it. Some said it was okay, but I think me personally, like, I enjoyed the movie. I can literally probably throw on John Wick 1, 2, and 3 all the way through.
Right.
I think the fight scenes, the shooting scenes, the way they put it together, I just think the whole bravado. Oh, I'm using a Jose word here. Bravado was a great thing. I mean, I literally want to start wearing black suits every day, and I might even think about just growing my hair out.
That's a good possibility.
get that little Keanu going on here. But no, overall, man, I think it was a dope movie.
It was hella dope. And for those of you that don't know about it, Keanu Reeves in it stars as this Baba Yaga, who is the Russian word for boogeyman, who is like the ultimate assassin, right? Gave up the life for a dog. And, you see the progression 1, 2, and 3. And so... he did true jiu-jitsu training, guns training for hours. I think he did jiu-jitsu with like the Morales brothers. For those of you that know them, worldwide famous, almost there with Hoist Gracie and all them. But yeah, true. And Joe Rogan commented on that too, didn't he? About Keanu Reeves
I think that's kind of
true jiu-jitsu form,
right? And
being like completely immersed in it. So whenever you see the scenes of judo and jiu-jitsu, the moves that he does, it's like it's true to its form, and it was a great movie, man.
Well, and I think that's something that made me want to watch it, obviously because Joe Rogan commented on it. When they give the stamp of approval, I'm like, me, I'm all in. So did that. Actually went home after we all split up, went back to work for a little bit, then went home, picked with the kids, and I was like, you know what? Let's make it a double feature. Went back and watched Pikachu.
How was it?
That was surprisingly, it was entertaining.
Really?
But I didn't have a lot of expectations from it because I'm not a Pokemon fan, nor the kids. You know what I mean? So we were kind of like, let's just go check it out. Like that was the only thing we literally could have watched.
Yeah, because me and my son, he tried to get me into it, but I'm like, I don't see it. Like Pikachu, detective.
But like I said, they put it together. They strung it together well, and I like Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, like, did he make it like that slapstick?
No.
No?
I think he did, but it wasn't like I don't know. It just wasn't because it was so PG-13. It just
Right.
it was more kid based, which they stuck I think pretty good to the kid base. But it's pretty. I mean, my son enjoyed it. He enjoyed it enough to get home. Like, do we got the movie? And I'm like, nah, not yet. You gotta wait a little bit for it to come out on Plex. But but that was cool. Saturday went to our Bakersfield border realtor YPN. Tournament. So we held that over at Mesa Marin. That was pretty fun. I mean,
would you go 3 for 3?
Doubles? No, I didn't play. I mean, we were there organizing it, putting it all together. But I mean, a lot of teams participated. It was fun just to be out there, see everybody have a great time. It was a good family event. So I mean, we had elder all the way to children there as well.
Nice.
But yeah, it was cool overall. I think it was a good turnout. I think we did very well with that, and I can't wait until the next one in 2020. So that's pretty. Fun, I mean, that's pretty much it. I think Sunday just a whole lot of relaxing, trying to get my life back together, ready for work.
You ready for work?
Woke up this morning. Definitely was not hurting for some reason. I was telling you about this at lunch. I'm like, I just wasn't feeling it. You really don't realize how much of like a bug or an illness can like just take you down.
Oh yeah, it's surprising, man. Just the smallest little thing takes you out of your routine. You're like, God damn, hold up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sinking. Yeah, because I know. Well, I mean, if everyone can tell, you can go back to the first session. Gary's been consistently working out, and you see him getting broader. A little bit more bigger, right?
Obviously, it's all camera adds on 10 pounds of shoulder weight.
Damn, listen, I got 5 on me. But no, so he's been working out consistently, supplements and stuff like that. And so we thought, well, that might be one of the things. Maybe he's a lot of protein or something like that.
No. So, I think I feel like because I'm always so fast paced and on the go, I find myself not eating consistently. So like I'll eat in the morning, and then I probably won't eat until like maybe you say let's go to lunch, or maybe like 1 or 2. And it's just something quick to eat, and then so. Definitely lacking on the nutrients that I should be getting, and then on top of that, I'm still hitting the gym session and still taking a pre-workout on like an empty stomach, and I think that's just kind of like it's just really not doing so well. So I kind of want to just give myself a break for a couple of days just to do get it back together, and and drinking water is tough. I mean.
You
consistently all day.
To it,
and I feel like I drink a lot of water, but man, it's just tough to drink a lot of water.
No, well, before we came over, we had dinner. I had pizza. I just drank like 2 cups of water, just straight up. Not soda or anything like that. And I told you about this. I'm trying to just cut back on so much sugar that I have, and here I am eating pizza.
Yeah, pizza will turn into sugar,
but yeah, so I just figured if
carbs turn into sugar.
I'm not a health nut guru, as you can tell, but. No, man, I really try to force myself to drink a lot of water just to flush everything out. I don't feel like crap.
Yeah, for sure. But, so how was your week? I mean, I know your Friday, Saturday.
Saturday
looked pretty good. I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, dude, it was dope.
Where'd you go?
After Friday, after the movies, we ended up heading to Paso Robles, which for some reason leading up to it, I told him, we're gonna go to El Paso for the weekend. Like, oh damn, El Paso, that's a long flight. I'm like, Paso Robles, wine country. Yeah, right.
So what did you go out there for?
So we went there. They have something that's called Wine Fest.
Okay.
They have it at downtown Paso Robles, and it's like literally a bunch of wine connoisseurs and people with different companies, different vineyards go in there, hang out, and so you can get an early access pass, which lets you get in an hour early, which I highly recommend because you get in there early, and then you get to taste almost all the wine, and then after that, once after 1 o'clock, they sounded another horn, and then someone's like, "Oh, great! Here comes the riffraff."
What do you mean the riffraff? That's when all the 1 p.m.ers come in.
Yeah, they just come in.
Young crew.
Yeah, and just start getting all sloshed and everything. But it was really, really fun, man. Yeah. So my wife and I, we went over there. We went to a buddy of ours.
So real quick,
it was great.
Question. I know usually these beer fests, these drinking festivals like they have here in Bakersfield, there's kind of like a limit of as many drinks as you can have. So like, usually get a card. And I mean, obviously no one ever holds you to the limit, but is there kind of a limitation in what they do? Because I mean, usually with wine, you can, since you're tasting, you can taste and be like, this is nasty. You can spit it out before you make that commitment to a wine. So what was the limitation?
No, so over there they had they call it the Master P, but there was no limit. So no, but there was no limit. You can go to different wineries and from the Zinfandels and different other ones. And like after a while, I'm not a big wine connoisseur. I'll tell you that much right now. I'm just like, sir, can I revisit that year, please?
It was really, really good. I have a firm belief that like you're full of shit if you think you're wine. Like, I mean, that's kind of a perception of what you know, and it's almost like a salesmanship. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and pitch you on how great this is.
I agree.
Yeah, because Gary Vaynerchuk beats that down all the time about being that type of bougie wine drinker.
I'm not, and know which ones they are because they'll say, "Oh, I remember the rocks and this. Was it in oak and French? Okay, it was built for this one. They smell it and all that stuff. I'm just okay. Step aside. And it just pour it to me, right? So it was really, really cool, man. And so we were there for about 4 hours walking around. Ran into Kevin Oliver. He was there.
Okay.
So us and Joseph Doty. He's the one that invited me over there. And so we just hung out, man. Nice. And it was great. And the crazy thing was that when we get back to our hotel room, it was supposed to be cracking like by the poolside, but it started raining. But the couple next to us, there was like 6 rooms down, a bunch of veteranos. They had their own music.
And if you don't know what a veterano is, can you explain?
Yeah, veterano
for
is like
inclined
an OG, original gangster, if you will.
Okay.
So someone that's been in the trenches, you know, they usually have, you know, the 3 dots. That's
usually have the 3 dots.
You know, the 3 dots that shows, hey, you know what, they've been in some sort of struggle. But yeah, man, they were hella fun. They were Fontana in LA. And they actually brought a crap load of. They went over to McDonald's and bought a shitload of cheeseburgers and started feeding everyone in the hotel.
I don't know if you know, but that's pretty much the universal term for we are effed up. Is buying a bunch, like
dude,
like. And for some reason, it always works out like that, where you'll go and you buy like all of you go to Taco Bell, which is disgusting, but you go buy all this food and you come back. And you think you guys are just gonna crush it, and then next thing you know, you wake up in the morning, there's nothing but food laying everywhere, and you're like, "Oh, what I do? That's disgusting." Funny story, when I would go wine tasting, so one time we were in Napa, and you switched it around. So when we were in Napa, and I'm sitting there, and they tell you take a sip, and smell it and all that.
Yeah.
So after so many drinks, I'm already kind of like feeling it. So then I go and when I go to smell it, I put my nose too far in the cup and I inhale freaking wine, like red wine. I'm all,
it's bad, dude.
Well, it was all in my nose. It was hilarious, man. Like ever since then, I always gotta kind of like watch out when I go in for it.
My buddy did the same thing, and he ended up with. It looked like because he was getting a lot of red, a lot of cabs. So after a while, he had a red mark there, and his wife's like, "Hey, what the hell? What's going on? Who hit you?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" We were all kind of smashed. Man. So then afterwards, we went over to McClintock, which is like a close by saloon, and so from there everyone took turns buying drinks, and I bought the first one, the third, fourth, went on like everyone else. Like, they got it.
Yeah.
So it was hella fun, man.
What'd you feel like the next day?
I didn't feel as bad. I felt a little dehydrated.
How'd the spouse feel?
But you know what? She had a headache. She had a little bit of a headache, but she did actually pretty good, man. Yeah. So we had. It was hella fun. Man.
Nice, dude. Nice.
Yeah,
they're always fun. I mean, again, I was never really a wine drinker. I mean, even now, I think I kind of switched from things to things eventually. I mean, there was the one thing I do like about it is kind of like if you drink wine with another individual, like your spouse drinks wine, like me, my ex used to drink, and then I'd buy a bottle, and then I'd come home, and I have 2 bottles, and we'd actually pour up and take, like it's good banter back and forth about the drink. It's hard to find people that'd be like, "Hey, let's drink some certain types of Jameson or whiskey," and then it's not always in the same boat. And I can't do it with beer. Like, "Hey, how's that Michelob Ultra?" Like,
and you know what? I got to tell you, thanks, man. Because on the way over, when we were there, they were talking about whiskeys and different types of drinks. Now, for those of you that just tuned in, okay, Gary's he's my reference as far as like drinks, like old fashioned and different things like that, right?
Poor reference.
Okay,
too.
No, I'm just saying. But when we went, he gave me some book. Hey, here's a book on whiskey.
Right.
So when we went,
when we went to
Eureka.
So if you ever go to Eureka, if you ask the bartender to give you the big book of whiskey, and there's like a big old book, and they'll break down where all the whiskey comes from, different areas and stuff like that, and like kind of like what to expect out of them. So that's pretty cool. I mean, because like I feel like as I've gotten older, drinking's not about just getting smashed.
It's not.
You know what I mean? Like now it's more like, okay, let me find this and let me try this, and it kind of keeps it interesting just because you can always switch out to something different. One time you're drinking vodka, then you're with some whiskey, then you're back to wine, then you might be out white wine or
right.
But I'll tell you what, I don't really get involved in beer.
Oh, no.
Well, I do like beer if it's going to be something like it sounds funny. I base my beer off the can and the art. Like so when I go looking, I'm like, I like that. Or I don't really like dark beer. I like to keep it more on the blonde side.
Right.
But once I look at the can, I'm like, okay, where's that at? Oh, that's kind of a cool, art piece. I'm gonna taste it. And I'll try them out. Like I'll get it. I mean, I'll grab a sixer, and it may last me like a month or two because I'm only just drinking one just to see what it feels like. But and then I take other people's recommendations too. Like, why do you drink that? How does that taste?
See, I can, man, because there's so many damn options of IPAs and ales. I'm just like, look, okay, I'll try the dark one, the ales, which is pretty good. But then they start talking about unfiltered and filtered and hops and triples, all kinds of shit that I'm like, okay, it's too much information overload.
The one thing with beer,
let me try one.
This is whenever someone makes a recommendation for you, it's always like, yo, try this one. This one's really good. And it's always like the darkest, murkiest looking one. You're like, oh yeah, I'm cool on that. Like my brother and my cousin, they love to crush dark beer. Like,
see,
there's no other.
I tried a dark one and it actually looked like coffee. And he's like, yeah, let's got a little bit of coffee in that. Oh man, that shit was delicious. God, I love coffee. So I thought that was really, really good. So I thought, okay, I'll keep my palate options open. So there's so many beers that I'm just like.
So you went from wine to drinking beer later?
Yeah.
Ooh, you're a savage. I can't do.
Okay. We went on Friday. We got there. We went to the tap room.
Okay.
We had some beers there. I had a flight of beers there, and I don't know why. For some reason, I kept trying to look for Zeus because lengthwise they have the Zeus type of beer.
Right, but that's a local.
Right. So I thought, okay,
you want to mess with Zeus?
Let me have their version of Zeus.
Zeus is good.
I wanted to get.
Have you ever had a Zeus?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Will put you.
It's the highest alcohol content, and they serve in a little glass. Yeah. Oh my god.
That's all you need.
Oh my god.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you
so
need.
I wanted something comparable to that.
Yeah.
They're like Zeus. I'm like Aphrodite's, Ramses. What do you got? They're like, no, we don't have. I said, all right, just give me this, and so. But it was cool though, man. Yeah. I just think it's a lot of information overload. I don't want to take the time to distinguish, okay, this beer has certain hops or this has this.
Yeah, and you're not much of a drinker anyway.
Just give me something to drink.
Yeah.
I just want to take the edge off and keep that.
Just take the edge off.
Just relax a little bit.
I think as you go to different events and stuff like that, you eventually collectively like hang out with groups that are just kind of like, okay, we like this and that. It's just each his own, man. As long as I can never mess with. It's people that just stick to one thing. Like I got a buddy that's just like, yo, all I want to drink is Coronas. And if I ain't got a Corona, I won't drink.
Oh wow.
Like, or sometimes I gotta drink Bud Light and like, okay.
There's more to it than that, man.
Kid. Yeah, come on, kid, let's get out of this. Yeah, so that's cool, man. That sounds good. So then you got back Sunday, and then how was today so far?
Oh man, today was actually exceptionally good, man. I had that coaching call, and I actually had some good news for him. And one of the toughest things that I actually had to tell him, he's like, hey, is there something I'm not helping you with? And I remember you telling me that, hey, man, you got to be upfront and honest about your business yourself, or else he can't help you with shit.
Right.
So I said, you know what? Yeah, man, myself, I'm not very detail oriented.
Okay.
I'm about the end result. Like, okay, look, I don't know how many contacts it takes for me to get a listing. It's just I keep making contacts until I get a listing. I get a listing, okay, then I'll open up an escrow, get people qualified. That's the end result.
Yeah.
But I know he's like, hey, your coach, you play any sports? Like, yeah, I played wrestling, football, wrestling. Oh, okay, tell me about that. I did wrestling for 3 years in high school. Mm. He's like, that's good. So did you know what weight you had to be at? I said, yeah. Did you have to watch what you eat? I was like, yeah. Did you have to run and calculate everything? I was like, yeah. It's the same thing in your business. Mm-hmm. You just got to know the numbers. I'm like, fuck, light bulb. I said, all right, touche, you got me.
Yeah.
So now for myself, I'm going to try to be more detail oriented in my business. But
I keep it simple. I mean, the last coach I was working with was kind of like, just keep it simple, Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, like I was telling you earlier when we were at lunch, sometimes you just got to focus on what your strengths are.
Yeah.
Not so much your weaknesses. And if those are your weaknesses, then you either need to find someone to offset that. Yeah. Because you're going to spend a lot of time trying to improve that. Offset it just enough to help you, or just pick out what's going to help you out the most. Like if it's just tracking the contacts and maybe where their contacts come from. Like I don't like that either. Like I just can't keep track of that stuff. But I can tell you that I keep track of where all my business comes from. Then like this come from what source it comes from. So I can go back and be like, okay, maybe I should rely more on this source, or maybe I should try to get into this one to pick up a little bit more. Yeah. And then try to track the system that we use that allows for us to be able to track the numbers, like how many calls I'm making, if I'm registering them right. Yeah. But it's simple like that, because I mean, there's it's so overwhelming because there's so many aspects of business, like in our business, you know, and I think this kind of goes for a lot of stuff, like even with like working out or, you know, any type of business anybody's in, but like there's so many facets of ways to like get more business or improve it. It's just like, and a lot of times it's just like, man, keep it simple, you know, because like it can get overwhelming when you want to participate in everything and then you're not really mastering anything or perfecting anything. You're just kind of like, well, I'm throwing it all out there and whatever sticks.
Yeah, so having hands in different pots isn't always usually the best thing.
Right. I mean, to each its own.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I know even I've come across this thought about myself, like, why is it so hard for me to do certain things, whether it's my spouse, my mom, or my brother that wants me to do something, or my boss, or well, I have a boss.
Yeah.
I think like, why is it? And I want to think like when we had the In My Let show, when you told me about that, I kept thinking, man, is my ego getting away that much? You know what I mean? That it's stopping me from actually drawing? Because if I want to do something, I'll change, I'll do it. Yeah. But something like this, I don't know why, man. I'll go good for a little bit, and then I'll go back and be like, okay, go back to the old ways. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, but I don't think any, you know, I was having a conversation with someone earlier, and you know, we were just talking about in just random, just kind of like, I was like, you know, how does life ever just kind of be more stay consistent? You know what I mean? Like, you know, being a certain age, you don't think that's kind of like, this is where you're going to be at. And, or maybe you never even thought to the point of where you're at now. And then does it ever just stay consistent? Like, you know, because it's always peaks and valleys and whether it's business, life, health, I mean, you see everything kind of go up and down. But I think, my belief is, you know, you can go all the steps forward and maybe take those steps back, but it's how do you get back quick? Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And do you acknowledge it? Because a lot of times we don't acknowledge that there's an issue, you know, like, and I think, you know, there's times I'll come to you and I'll be like, yeah, I got an issue. Like, I'm not feeling it. You know, this is kind of where I'm at. And that may be a time you just need to take a break and just like get away from the norm, like kind of like how we switched our schedules.
Dude, yeah. And I'm so for it because, dude, doing the same thing over and over. Yeah, we know that this is the results. But I mean, I know we have been in business like for 10 years, but you're right, dude. I think it's that mental break. And I think in anything, like once I started doing that, I saw it work for you for a good amount. So, you know, I'm going to give it a shot. Yeah. So then I tried it as well, man. And it did clear up my psyche very, very well. Now I can actually say, since I started that a couple weeks ago, now I noticed like my mindset is in a different aspect where like, hey, I'm more motivated to come in. I'm getting more turns.
You have to do stuff different sometimes just to try. I mean, and if you're trying to get the same end result, just do something different. Like I'm literally the type of person that like, I can't take the same way to work every day because it annoys me. So like I'll take another street or I'll take another street or I'll cut through here because I just don't want that repetition over and over and over. It bugs me. I don't know why. It's just like, I'm gonna do something different. So I'm gonna go this way. Or maybe I'll go the long way.
That makes perfect
just
sense,
to switch it out. Yeah. You know, but you know, one thing I was talking to my coach about, and I think just in general, I feel like I personally put, and I think a lot of us do, you know, and there's such a big expectation that I've put on my shoulders to say that, you know, I want to perform a certain way or I got to make sure I get ahead. And then it never feels like it's enough. Right. And it's almost, it's kind of like a bad character trait, but it's also a great one that keeps me going, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, when people offer advice like, oh, well, you know, that's sales and that's competition. Like, but like, if you're not producing at that level, it's hard for me to take that advice from you because it's a weird place to be. Like I had a great conversation with an agent, Bill Mill. You know, he was the first when I got hired to that brokerage. He helped train me on my contracts, and he's been in the business probably I think maybe like 15 years. But we had a great conversation about thinking when we would make X amount of money that we would feel accomplished in some way, and then the next step up, and then the next step up, and I was just gonna be. It was funny. I was telling him, I was like, man, you know, when I was broke or when I didn't have nothing, as much as I felt like I was accomplishing, I'm like, man, I felt like that was the least stressful point of my life. I'm like, and now it feels like there's so much more on my shoulders that I got to keep the machine running that you can't give the machine a break. So kind of in the whole switching up the schedule, I'm finding myself like even this morning when I showed up, I showed up, you know, to do my coaching call. And then I'm like, I'm not really feeling too well. And I'm like, you know what? Most days I'm going to stick it out. I'm really going to stick it out. I'm going to grind through this. But I thought like, man, I'm just gonna go to the gym.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go back and make some calls, and I set up an appointment and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it's like enjoying. You got to enjoy the moment. Like, then that's kind of cool thing about my coach. Like, I feel like he's getting my personality now. He's like, you know what? I can't crank you and think that you need to be there 8 hours doing that. Like, you know, if you're just gonna go for 2 or 3, like, give me the best 2 or 3 you got.
Yeah, something's better than nothing.
Yeah, because I'm not enjoying the moment, the day. You know, it always feels stressful. Like, I literally am like, if I'm not there, I'm failing at something, or you know, if I don't continue this, oh man, I'm gonna drop the ball, or I'm missing a transaction, or you know, and it's like it's enjoyable.
What if that's the pressure that's called? Because I've heard from different people that like when you put a lot of stress on yourself, it can literally make you sick.
Right.
Like this gentleman I worked with at FedEx, he was so stressed out from the way he ran his route that he was literally becoming blind on one eye.
Yeah, for sure. Like right now, as far as me being like feeling under the weather today, no, because I think the last month's been pretty chill. Like I just been real like lackadaisical about things, like just not wanting to take things too serious and more like practicing like yes man, like yes man, I'm gonna do that. Like I want to, you know what, let's go do this and let's go do this more than I usually would.
Okay.
And just kind of like trying to enjoy the time when we go do something, or you know, not feeling guilty about going to watch a movie or even, I mean, there's times I'm like, man, you know, we should just sack up and just dip out of town. But again, you know, because I look at a lot of people and I'm like, man, people are traveling, people are spending time. I mean, granted, you see this on Facebook and stuff like that, but my thoughts are like, man, I deserve that stuff too. Like, why don't I do that? Why don't I just pull the trigger and just go do some stuff?
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to practice like being involved, you know, because I don't think I'm going to be helpful to contribute to anybody if I'm personally not happy. Does that make sense?
That makes complete sense, because a lot of times I feel the exact same way. And to piggyback on what you said, man, I think because even for myself, and I've told you, like, man, dude, I'm just like, I feel like I don't have enough escrows, or I'm not doing enough for this, either my kids or my work or my family. Like I feel like a lot of responsibility is what it is, that I'm like, okay, I want more. I'm not doing enough. I need to do more. Right? And everyone tells me, I need to slow down, relax a little bit. So that's why every now and again, like when you switch your schedule, I watched, observed, oh damn, that worked for him.
Yeah.
So you hear that a lot. Do what successful people are doing, mimic that, mirror that. What's the worst that's gonna happen?
Right.
I mean, you might be like them or it won't, but at least I'm giving myself another shot to keep moving forward, because there's times when I do show up to the office, like, man, I don't feel like holding shit. Or the phone calls I get, they're just like, no, just shut down left to right, nothing. Yeah. And that messes with the psyche that I try to take a break and come back, but I still come back with that little chip on my shoulder, like, you know what, I'm better, I'm going to do this. And it messes up the conversation. And you've told me before, you're like, hey, dude, it seems like you're being combative. Like, and I'm like, why? What am I saying? Well, and then you tell me this. I'm like, well, I never thought about that. And it does come across that. So with you having like that clear mind of being present in the moment, I completely agree, because whether you are out having dinner with someone or you're at a job that you don't like, you know, take that little mental break and come back and clear everything out.
Yeah.
Because I read somewhere that, or I saw some video where a lieutenant in the Navy was saying that there's so many things in life that you do that you don't want to do, that you don't feel like doing because it's just so mundane or boring. Right. But he says, when you get up in the morning, make your bed. Because that gives you a sense of pride that you did at least one thing. And from there, you can build on it. And I'm like, how does doing my bed make
me there's a professor in Canada that talks about that. Jordan Peterson talks about like the first thing you should do is make your bed. And you know, that's kind of, it's interesting, you know, for them to say that. That's so funny you bring that up. But gotta switch it up sometimes, man. Change it up, do things different. I mean, you know, you can't always stay stagnant doing what you're doing. And you know, it was interesting because like when I was out there, I wasn't playing, so I just kind of hung out a little bit and just watched the games back and forth. And somebody came up to me, a broker, that you know that saw me get into the business, and I can definitely say that we've had a couple run-ins, and you know, he knew I was real competitive and always aggressive and stuff like that. But he was like, hey, you know, I want to let you know, my observation is you seem real relaxed. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you've just been real relaxed in your business lately. Like overall, my perception is that it kind of seems like you're not as intense as you used to be, but that's a good thing though. He's like, you know, it's like you're more comfortable in what you're doing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, man. I was like, I think so. I was like, you know, it's not, I'm not trying to beat anybody, or I'm not trying to. I don't want to. I'm just trying to live the bit. Just trying to live it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just be present, just do my thing, and we're gonna get this outcome because I'm trying to focus on all the little things here and there. And I think that's just kind of the hardest part of the daily struggle. So.
So would you say, like, when you first started, you were saying that you're really hungry, really aggressive, and
oh yeah, I wanted to number one agent. Like I wanted to beat everybody. My goal was to be in the top. Like I wanted to be in like the top 10. Then it was kind of like in that area, like the 50. I just want to be in the top.
Top what?
I've always. I think I don't know. I don't remember my first year. I think, but I know I finished like in the top 100.
Yeah.
We call it the first page of agents. Like you could get on that first page, you're good. And then it was like 50, 50. But. Again,
I'm just second page. Right. Yeah.
Just not trying to take it serious, man. Like, I don't know, like, because what, like me and that guy Bill were talking about, like, what's really enough, or what's really good, like, is that success when you pass, when you die, like, people are going to go back and be like, that guy finished on the first page all the time.
Right, yeah, man.
I knew that guy was always a hustler. Like, like.
It's only good for so long.
Yeah, it does get it. It does get unhealthy, I feel like, especially if you're trying to offer. So that's why I even find myself too, like listening to a lot of, like when I listen to podcasts, like listening to podcasts, especially to put a stamp on a podcast, listening to podcasts helps me think about other stuff, like, because I'll be listening to different professors, and then they'll go over to not even entrepreneurs. I kind of get to comedians, and it's just like a different outlet of entertainment in a sense, but it's educational entertainment because a lot of them are talking about their personal lives and their successes, and they kind of, a lot of people go through the same things when they disclose it. But I stay away a lot from like the motivational stuff, and even like on Facebook, like I've kind of like unfollowed a lot of that. And I don't want to say it doesn't apply, but I think maybe in my journey in life right now, I'm just not really, get up, hustle, grind. Isn't like, it worked for me like 2-3 years ago, but like right now it's not really.
Well,
because for me it's just not now. Like
Yeah, well, you're in the point now where your business, your end game, what you want to do, what it takes to get from A to Z, and the tiny steps, whether they're small steps or large steps. You know how to.
I also know a lot of that stuff, a lot of that content has also got me to the point where it's been a lot of stress, and it's put a lot of stress on my family and me personally and situations. So then, now I'm going back and I'm reassessing it, like, is this, got me here. Is this actually the result I wanted? Like, maybe we need to go a different route on this. And, maybe we need to tailor it back. Maybe we don't want to be this, and I remember being a part of, we were part of groups where it was like, you had to be, it was this or bust. Like you had to be that or bust. And I'm kind of like, that's your definition of success. Like that's not my definition. Like maybe it needs to be, you got to tailor it to something else and just be happy where you're at.
Yeah. Because with the podcast that you listen to, and I'm going to go completely left field on you on this one. So for me, sometimes to just mellow out and kind of do things, I'll actually go on Netflix and I'll look for like anything about UFOs, just to get me thinking, wow, what is that?
Yeah.
Because you think about it, like after Roswell and all this other stuff, like jets started coming out, and like, you really think that us as humans, we're going to be able to figure out a way how to create a fuel, fly human beings? That's where I go to relax sometimes. I'm like, that's my think about it.
The funny thing you bring that up is because that turns into one, like you go on Netflix, but if you ever go to YouTube, that goes to the next video, that goes to the next video. Next thing you know, you're looking at flat Earth, and then you just go down this nasty hole.
It is, because there's so much stuff out there that I don't know, me as an observer, I'll look at the YouTubes like, hey, there's this dead alien, and then you look at it like, wait a minute, that looks weird. And then everyone wants to, you know what, that's fake. They use chicken skin stuffed with bologna or meat sausage, and I'm like, it looks pretty real, but I'm not an artist in that field. But I'm just like, man, so many things. And then they go to like the cell phones, and how later on, eventually, because of the alien life forms, they're so far advanced at where we're at that we're going to having phones like in our hands, and we'll just go like that and answer phones. Which do they have something like that now? China somewhere probably.
Yeah, you just answer a phone in your hand. I know they have like out in China they have like the chips or something like that. Where you can scan.
Well, shoot, you got Alexa. You can say, Alexa, play music, and it'll do it. So what's with the chip? And so. I'm telling you.
If you ever looked at my YouTube feed, Alexa, Alexa in, Alexa stop music. Alexa. That dude, this could block us from Confused too, bro.
No, it can't.
Yes.
Alexa, stop.
Yeah, dude, that stuff right there is copyright content, bro. That'll block our whole Facebook page.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you don't
Explain
realize, don't ever play music in the background. That's not your copyright content because it's gonna block you. So, Mr. Jose, you've learned a new lesson today.
What if we give him a credit for it? Tell him, hey.
I doubt we have enough money to give them a credit for it. I'm not concerned about figuring out how to go look
5
for
cents.
it. But
That's crazy how that happened though.
Because you yelled Alexa. You never go to someone else's house and yell Alexa out. Like, it's literally going to work.
That's going to be a new rule now. When you go to
You didn't know that?
I didn't.
Did you think it was like Siri? Like it worked based off of your... No, it doesn't work like that.
See, that's why I don't know.
Just like you never go to like a house, like if you're going looking at houses and you're like, hey, Alexa, play this music. Because like if you're at someone else's house, like like showing, right?
Okay.
Right? So people may put music on. Like that's your first inclination. Like, hey, there's Alexa. You might talk to the Alexa. Because when you go look at the app, it keeps track of everything you were browsing. So like I could go look at my app and be like, oh, so this song just played. Like if you requested a personal song.
Right.
So now they can be like, why are they playing with my Alexa? So yeah.
Yeah.
You need to
never thought about that.
So it doesn't idle out.
No, I mean it's fine. But that's crazy. See, that's stuff I didn't know. So
you gotta learn these things. That's what podcasts teach me, man.
All right. So then if you have an Alexa in your house. Oh, okay. If you have an Alexa in your house, be sure to put up a sign so that way no one messes with your playlist.
You just can't say
crazy.
You just can't say, "Hey Alexa," out in somebody's house. It's just gonna go off. It's gonna recognize what's going down.
Man, imagine when someone else says, "Hey, Dad, here's my new friend. What's your name, Alexa?" And then there are some kids that named Alexa or Alexis or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that was crazy.
Yeah, so my YouTube page is like, if you were to like look at my search history for YouTube, it's freaking nuts. Like today, because I wasn't really feeling it, like I literally started off with listening to Darnell Williams, the comedian.
Okay.
Darnell Williams, the comedian. That rolled over to Neil Brennan, the writer for Chappelle. Somehow that rolled over to me watching, which I've never had, but then I started going down like episodes of watching Minister Louis Farrakhan talk for about like 3 hours about like politics, and I'm just like in the zone listening to this, and then like that rolled over to Bishop TJ
Don Juan.
No, Bishop TJ something like I can't think of his name, but I was just like rolling through the Breakfast Club hard, and then I jump out of an episode and I'd go look at what they're looking at, and I like totally, but then I'll start listening because I listen to that's all I listen to. If someone else is in my car, I'll listen to music. If no one's in my car and it's just me, I listen to podcasts. Like I prefer just to listen to podcasts. And like the whole time I'm running like a mental notepad, like, oh, that's cool. Like, you know what? I liked it when they said that. And I like the way they said this. And I'm going to research that later. I want to look that up and get some content.
So do you bounce around from podcast to podcast?
Oh, yeah.
Like snippet here, snippet here?
Oh, no. I'll listen to a whole podcast. Like I will listen to a full 3-hour podcast.
Damn.
And if I get to a point where, and I'll transition it too. So like if I'm listening to it when I'm getting ready in the morning, then I'll pause it. Then when I come downstairs, I'll turn it on to the TV because it keeps the place for me on YouTube. Because I pay for YouTube Premium, the $12.99 one.
Yeah.
And then I'll jump in the car and it play it on the phone and it goes working and I jump on the computer. It stays where it needs to be for me.
So do you have like a certain routine? Like, hey, in the morning I
listen to podcasts to go to sleep.
Do you have like anyone in particular, or you just like just
usually Joe Rogan? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll try to listen to like really thorough engineer, like biochemists, like professors and stuff like that for when to go to bed because it's like so much. So I'm like, I start dozing off. But if I'm listening to like Joe Rogan talk to like Brandon Schaub and all his crew and everything like that, it's so entertaining. I can't go to bed, and I'm not watching it. I just have it playing like next to me, the speaker or on my AirPod. But it just kind of rolls into something. As somebody in like. I like listening to a lot of the comics, the actors, and the people they interview because like they'll talk about where they came from, like that struggle. And I feel like a lot of them are real honest about where they came from and then like how they got there, or they, sometimes they're like, that wasn't really what I expected when I got there.
Yeah.
So it relates to me a lot right now. So I'm like, I like to listen to that, and then I'll start looking them up whenever they, other speeches that they have, and it's just following their content. But that's literally my television.
See, with me, listen to a couple podcasts, but I'm just like touch and go. I'll listen 5-10 minutes. I'm done, and then go to the next one. But
Yeah.
if you catch me on YouTube, I'll go to like movie previews, and I can just roll with all them. The new Spider-Mans, the John Wick 4.
You could, I mean, shoot. There's a
Like,
podcast. There's a podcast for everything, man.
Yeah,
There's
so I don't know.
podcasts
So maybe I just need to
TV
surf a
music
couple
and
more and
shit.
check it
Yeah,
out. Movies, because the thing that intrigues me the most is like the turnarounds. Like for example, like Robert Downey Jr. Right? How he just like completely turned everything around. He was like getting in fights with transvestites, drug abuse, and everything in jail. To one of the most respected men in Hollywood, right? Like, that's a huge turnaround and kind of a sense of inspiration. And I just think, man, I just keep thinking that if everyone really dug deep, man, like how much more better you can make society or your family or something like that. You know, like I have a brother who's been incarcerated in and out since he was 16. And so for me as older brother, watching him like that really sucks for me because I know, and you probably hear this a lot from, you know, other people that they have a brother that's, you know, stuck on drugs or drug abuse and just like doesn't know how to do how to get out of that lifestyle, but they have so much untapped potential that, you know, they don't believe in themselves that that's an easy out for them. Like that's why a couple episodes back, I asked you, do you think it's easier to be good or bad? You know, and I asked my brother the same thing. He's it's easier being good. And this is the one that's in he's in halfway. And I'm
what
like,
I answered? Did I say it's easier being good or bad?
No, you said
I would say it's easier being bad. Yeah. Just because it's just.
So I was like, well, no, bro. I said, me personally, I think it's easier being bad because you give no fucks, you do whatever you want.
Well, I mean, it's kind of been,
you know,
embraced by society in a sense. There's an underlining, like, kind of, you know what I mean? Like being, you know, like that. But then you have a lot of social justice warriors too, so you can't really be too much. And,
so with me, it's like I just feel like, man, dude, if Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. was able to do that, you know, I kind of wish I could implement that to my brother because he's a smart kid, dude. But he just ends up messing up.
The problem you're always going to have with that is you're trying to implement it. Like
I want it for him. I would like for him to have that.
No, I know, but like people aren't going to change unless they want to change.
Exactly. I wish I found that recipe to make him change. You know, I'm not going to change him. You're right. He's going to change on his own accord. But I just wish he would have that moment now because I really think like, and after talking to him once in a while, he's like, hey, time's running out for him. And I'm like, yeah. Do you really want to go back to jail again and deal with all the crap you're doing again? You know, I really want for him to change it because I want him spending time with his nieces and nephews who they know of him when they were little, but they don't really know him like I know him, you know? And I really, really wish that for him to be able to change so he can spend more time with us because the kid is hilarious. I've showed you a picture of him, you know, it's completely tatted up, chest and head, and most people are like, he's your younger brother? Like, yeah, he's your brother, period? Like, no way. You know, that's my younger brother. You want to see he's the black sheep of the family, but the kid is very comical, very OG-ish, but man, smart kid, and ball up, and he's just really, really smart. And I feel bad because sometimes in the back of my mind, when I was younger, I don't know if you've had this, but since I'm the old side of 7, I really didn't spend a whole lot of like brother time with him. And he would always walk alongside me. He'd always want to be where I'm at. I remember when I went to Mexico for about almost 2 months, my mom told me that he cried for the first 3 days by himself because I took off. And think about it now in hindsight, I'm like, damn it, man, maybe I could have avoided him going down that path where, you know, I didn't see he really wanted to be next to me. So once in a while, you know, I'm like, man, I feel.
So you think like he was just, I don't want to say committed to that type of lifestyle, but once he got into it, it just came easy to him. So he just continued to.
It came easier for him because he felt, you know, that I didn't
accepted by a certain point of it, or
there wasn't no love or deep love to take care of him, and he's like, I'm gonna find it somewhere else.
So take that and think about it like this: like you literally have the same genetic build as him, except you latched onto something different.
Right.
Going this way versus going that way.
Yeah.
So I always look back and I think to myself, like, man, you know, I'll see people that I hung out with or his family or stuff, and I think, man, like that either like that self-destruct, I have that. Like, and you got to be you can't be not aware of the fact that you can't. So that you know what I'm saying? Like, so I always think to myself, like, that's why I'm always quick to like, if something's not working, like, I'm like, you know what? Oh, this is a problem right now. And why is this a problem right now for me? And we need to like address it. And let's kind of, because I'm always trying to work on it going forward, because, it's just always trying to consistently go to head it in the different direction, because I feel like if I let the chips fall, I have the ability to go slide the back the opposite way, right? Yeah, because I get so fixated on just wanting to get involved with one thing.
Yeah.
So just definitely got to, you know what I mean? Like, got to kind of, again, you're only going to want to change. Most people are, you only want to change whenever you want to accept the responsibility for where you're at in your life. And, I used to beat my head against the wall with a lot of people like coming across like, man, here's where I was, and, things that weren't working for me. And I used to blame everybody. And I got these, 3 DUIs, and I got, and I've been through this and that, and, to kind of learn from that. And some people, I think it's helped out, and a lot of times I find out all I can do is just give them the story, just kind of like if they're looking at the content, if they want the content, eventually you'll see they'll just show up, and they'll show up. Right. The hardest thing I think is just getting yourself out of the circle that you're with into a different circle of a support group.
And I think that's a lot of it to it, man, is that like, if you were to get out of that support circle where, he is on drugs, gets out, like, the kid's healthy now. I see him all the time. On Facebook, and he's looking healthy, but it's like once he gets out into the real world, he has a hard ass transition. He might be good for like a month, like anyone that's wanting to change.
It sounds funny, but as an adult, it's hard to make friends. Oh. Like friends that you're going to spend a lot of time with, like, what I'm saying, like, if they transition to where they're like those types of people that come to your house every often, you may play game night with, or you go out and eat dinner with, like, that comes here and there. But like, how many, like you probably have a group of friends that you kind of always consistently hung with for the past like 5 to 10 years, right? You think so?
On and off, yeah.
Right, but it's usually, if I was to be like, hey, tonight you're gonna have a barbecue and you're gonna have a game night, you have your like A list of people you probably call straight up.
Yeah.
So how often do you add to that A list? Like, is it once every year? Maybe somebody new comes into the group. Maybe 2 years. Like, it's
probably about one. I think probably every 6-7 months. If I meet someone new, like either because my wife, she's got her set of friends, I have my set of friends.
But I mean, when I say like, come through. But I'm saying that consistently sticks though. Like will now become a part of that, like that top 5 that you'll be seeing for the rest of your life.
Yeah, no,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not.
It constantly changes, though. It constantly changes because, you're right. You have one group of friends, you might be good for a little while, but then, hey, I can't make it. Oh, okay, they have other commitments with maybe other new friends, or the kids have like a soccer sleepover.
You just become. I think we just become comfortable with this. Who we're around to as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The crazy part is like you never realize how. So like once you have a major change in your life, then you get to see like literally who either were your friends or who you're not going to hang out with as much. Because like I don't hang out with all the same people because I'm not married anymore.
Yeah, that's.
And it's not because it's not because they're thinking like I'm gonna run the streets and be single. Like that's literally. I mean, their wives think that. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I bet you he's out there doing single stuff. I'm like, no, actually, probably not. Like life isn't really like that right now.
So, do you think that's a common misconception that because you are single and that a lot of the friends that you don't hang out or don't come hang out with you is because their wives or significant other think, hey, he's doing single stuff. I don't trust you. Not necessarily you.
I don't know. It's hit or miss. I mean, everything's different. A lot of my, but then again too, I mean, at this age, not everybody hangs out as much. You know what I mean? Like they used to. We all have our lives. We all have kids. We all got events to go to, things we have to do, stuff like that. I usually get together for like birthdays, fights, stuff like that. Uh-huh. But a lot of times everybody's life's so fast paced, it's just hard to make time. It is. But no, I mean, I could see where that's came up issues before. But I mean, I think that's just a weakness in someone else's relationship. If your relationship's so fragile that some other person being single can make you think your relationship's gonna fall apart. Like, I'll catch you guys when you're gonna be single pretty soon too. Like, let's be honest about that. So, but I mean, just overall, but it's just like, oh, hey, come through, let's watch the fight. And it's just like me and a couple other guys, and like they got their girls, and sometimes maybe they don't click or anything. Like, guys are we always try to force our girls, the girls together. Like,
I think the
hey,
girls
go be cool with each other, and it's kind of like,
I think the girls do that to like the T, man.
To what?
Like you got pretty sure your ex-wife had another friend. And,
Oh no, she never tried
hey,
to force me to be.
hey, we're gonna hang over here. You and like, for example, like myself. Oh yeah, he likes baseball. You like baseball. Okay, but what team does he like? Oh, I don't know. I think you're like a Giants fan. I'm like,
yeah, nah, mine never did that to me. Like, no.
Yeah, man. It's like it's like a play date for dogs. Oh, let's see if they get together. And then you look in the kitchen. They're like, oh, they're talking to each other. Yeah, no. Oh, he's throwing his hands up. They're laughing. I think it's a match. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like, hey, sometimes, like, guys.
Well, one thing I always appreciated about her was like she always wanted to do, like, when we do things, like it was always like, if we go hang out with other groups, it was just like, yo, we all got to hang out because like even she had a problem with it, which I always thought was weird too. Like when the women and the guys segregate themselves in a sense, like at certain points, like they're all the wives sit over here and all the guys sit over here, like. Sometimes you just got to bring the party together. You know what I mean? And mine and her personalities were real, takeoverish. Like we're real.
Yeah.
Hey, we can have fun, and hey, let's get everybody involved, and like.
Yeah.
And we'll find out a lot of people aren't like that, So then, like, it's also like, when you get in the car, you're like, God damn, they're boring as shit. Like, we're probably not gonna hang out with them no more because like they don't even like to play games, or they don't want. Like they're not just fun. Like they don't even like to dang, they don't even like to drink a little bit. Like a couple, like here and there. Like
so because with us, we'll go and very few couples do have game nights. We'll play like catchphrase. And there's a crap load of other games out there, man. What's that one? Cards Against Humanity. That was like a big one, right? And you can play that for a while. But when's the last time you played had like a game night and played like say Monopoly or any type of
games? Probably like last year, like right towards the end of like December, I think it was probably like we would get the family over and friends and stuff like that, and everybody just kind of gets in and plays game night and stuff like that. Like but a lot of times it's like God, there's like kids. Sometimes there's kids there because someone couldn't get a sitter, so you're like you can't really get into the game, because of that stuff. So goddamn kids get in the way.
Yeah. So
if my kids are listening. I didn't mean that about you guys. Other kids.
Loves you. Yeah, because we play catchphrase, and the cool thing about that is that whenever you have couples, you can play guys against girls.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, the guys always win. 5, right? So, but no, I think that's one game, like you said, that kind of brings everyone together.
Yeah.
You do like
it's cool to see people that want to get out and do things though. Like we always talk about because I will talk about karaoke, and me and you always and the amount of people that just don't want to participate.
Why is that, dude?
I don't want to play.
I can cheer you on. But
why not? Just have fun. Yeah,
no one's gonna judge you.
No one cares. You're not that important for us to care. Like
you're not gonna get an artist deal. Like
no. Believe me, I'm working really hard right now on humiliating myself. Like that's my goal. Like I want to have a lot of fun. So
have fun at my expense. Let's go to town.
Yeah.
Hey, but I ain't gonna lie though. I'll get in there and I will actually really try my best to sing that high note, which just doesn't. I've never
seen you karaoke before. I've never karaoke before.
No, we karaoke before, but it was a rap one that we did over at 1933.
Did we?
Yeah, homie, nothing but a G thing.
Oh yeah, they do that over there?
We were pretty hammered, but
no.
But yeah, so it's just finding a group of crowd that'll actually have a karaoke. Like, I've always said this for years, man. It'd be cool to have like a little stage and have like props, like a guitar, or whatever, wigs on the side, and then whoever wants to come up karaoke, just pick out your wig, your ensemble, and just jam out, dude.
Yeah,
that'd be hella perfect with a mic and everything.
We need one of those places here in town where it's just like when we go to Sacramento for Ledge Day, there's like these basically it's just like a building, bunch of karaoke rooms in there. You rent it out. They bring you food and drinks, and it's just a big bench seating, and that's it. Everybody just karaoke and stuff like that. That's cool. Legit.
That's cool. Yeah.
Because I spend half my time trying to force people to do it. Come on, do it. And you know damn well all of them were in their car singing.
Yeah, right.
They know you're singing.
You catch them, and especially the ones that either new kids on the block and try to front, like, oh my God, forget it, I don't like them. But then driving down the road comes out, hanging tough. It's like, just go with it, man. Don't fight the feeling.
Don't fight the feeling.
All right.
Well, I think
that's about all.
Pretty much come up on an hour, man. So I mean, that's pretty good. Little episode 8.
Yeah, episode 8, folks. So if you're just tuning in, I want to acknowledge a couple of people that were on here on that followed us on Instagram Live. Thank you so much for everyone. We have Mr. Lemur Status. He's going to win Go to Paso. It's fun, but if you get a chance, go. WineFest 2020 is next year, obviously, because of 2020, and it's around May. So keep an eye on it, dude. Love to see you there, man. A crap load of people that was there. A lot of fun. NJB 588 says being successful is defined by a personal goal, and your goal isn't maybe my goal. That's right. Everyone has their own standards, their own goals that they want to do. So the goals that you do have, make sure they're for yourself and nobody else, because at the end of the day, only you can make yourself happy, not someone else. All right.
So everybody, thanks for looking on Instagram. Video will be uploaded soon on YouTube. Anybody that's on Facebook Live right now, we appreciate you watching. Make sure you follow us at
Put a Stamp on It
podcast on all Facebook, social media websites.
iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify. Look us up. Like, share with everybody. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night. Bye.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. In that.